Welcome back to our self-cut tutorial walkthroughs where I teach you guys how to cut your hair through a self-cut so you guys could do it on your own while following me, following my direction. This week we're going to be doing a burst fade. Now a burst fade, simple, just kind of bursts around the ear instead of in front of the ear or going completely around. It's just like kind of like a semi-circle around the ear and everything bursting up and out away from it. So usually get this with like mohawks, mullets. I know I don't have either, but we're gonna rock a mohawk, I guess, for the next couple of weeks. Not looking forward to it, because I don't want to. But we need to make these videos so y'all can learn how to do it if y'all want to learn how to do it too. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the things that you guys will need. We're gonna split it probably into two, with the front before ear and after ear. Like, you know how like AD, right? Old, after death, BC, before Christ, that, yeah. So before ear, BE, and then after ear, or behind ear, BE. No, that's still BE either way. Alright, whatever. And I know that I said we're gonna make like a semi-circle around, but honestly it's just a bit easier if you just use straight lines. So we're just gonna use like the back of my ear, gonna go up and then just straight across and then maybe a bit diagonal down around here so that we can keep the C cup, keep it nice and dark. So I'm gonna start in the back behind the ear, kind of like right here. I'm gonna use the tattoo as like reference, maybe. So like this character, or this little line right here, that's gonna be my starting point. And I'm just gonna go up vertically. So now we got that in place. I went to like maybe the top of my ear. Yeah, I'll make it a bit more defined real quick. There we go. See that? Smooth. Now we can just go across, tap right here, tap right here, tap right here, and it should be smooth. And now we can just take away all that bulk that's in between. And boom, now you have the basis of, I guess, what a burst fade is. It should just look like a mean ass L. That's really all there is to it. Now we're just gonna literally go up like this and then go to the side like that when we're faded. Now we left a bit of room back here so that it can burst around like how it's supposed to. But now we're gonna go in with the shavers. And with the shavers, you're just gonna go up, not completely all the way up, but pretty close to that line so that you can just keep it more close to the skin. Smooth. Alright, now you get your clipper, your fading clipper. Obviously we're using the dial. We've been using the dial almost every video because I have no other clippers. So, clipper, all the way lever open, and we're going to go up around 1/2 inch. Just following the shape that we just made. So, on this part, you're just going up. And then on this part, we're pushing it back to the side. So, my hand position will look a little different for that one compared to the first part. But for the first part, for the first part, it's pretty simple. I'm not gonna go up too high around this area because I did say I want to keep the C cups pretty dark. So now that that first line is made, now we can get onto this back part. I'm going to start just going F normally. And now we're going to turn the clipper so that you can see that I'm pushing it in a burst motion. Now we're just repeating this process, so we're going to make the next guideline now by throwing on the one guard and leaving the lever all the way open. Hold on. Change the display on this. Oops. Okay. And just following that same guideline we just made. And then same thing for the back, we're just going to go up first and then we'll attack it going that way next. And on that part, you're really only using like maybe the first like 4 blades on this side. You don't want to use the entire thing because we're not trying to make the guideline that big. As you can see, it's looking decent now. It's looking kind of there. Now we're going to throw in the 2 guard. Same exact steps. Lever all the way open and just following this again. But making sure that I'm like flicking out this time because we're wanting this to start the blend into the longer hair. I don't want to make it like a disconnected type of burst fade. I want it to be all in one. This is honestly a lot easier than the low fade. I can't even lie. It's just coming a lot easier. Like I guess maybe using the low fade as like that base template is making this a lot easier. Okay, now last guard we're gonna go in with the 3 and we're just doing the same thing. 3 all the way opened. Just following that same line and just getting rid of majority of that book that's like overhanging. I'm kind of fucking with this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the back. Maybe just round it off. But yeah. Smooth. Alright. This is what it's looking like so far. Nice, nice. Now we're gonna fade downward, so we're gonna start with, or maybe we fade up. Yeah, let's fade up. So we're gonna start with no guard, lever all the way closed, and we're just gonna flick out at that bottom line using the corners because for me, well, at least when I use the full on blade, I tend to cut a little too much or a little too high, so using the corners just gives me a bit better control, I would say. So yeah, we're gonna do before ear and then after ear, so we're just gonna focus on this part first. Now we're gonna go in with the trimmer because we did use the shaver on it. This will get it completely down to the desired length. Smooth. Alright, now we can go up a little bit. I'm gonna throw in the one guard with the lever all the way close still, and we're just gonna attack this line right underneath. Now to take it out completely, throw on a 0 guard, and we're going to put the lever halfway, and if you're on the dial, between 1 and 1.5, honestly. I'll start with 1.5. Same thing, using the corners and just flicking. Smooth, 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 smooth. Alright, next we're going to get rid of this line up here. We're going to start with the 2 guard all the way closed, and we'll probably go in with the 1 guard after, all the way open and just flicking out. Smooth. Smooth, 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 smooth. Alright, throw on that 1 all the way open. We honestly don't really need to, it's kind of pretty good, but just to be sure. Smooth. Smooth. Now we can get to behind the ear. And it's going to be the same exact process. We're going to start with no guard, lever closed. And we're just going to attack the back of the ear part, really. So it's just like that little semicircle. Now for the back of the ear, you can't really like go like that to fade. So you kind of have to like line it up with how it was before. And then just angle it slightly. Like see how it's just angled slightly and not like turning it in too much like this. Just gotta angle it slightly and just use that corner to really get out all those lines. I'm going in with the trimmer one more time to get it up completely. Smooth. Okay. Next step, one guard still closed. We're just gonna attack this dark line right here. Soften, now throw on that zero guard, halfway or 1.5. Same thing. But just be really gentle using the corners because, I don't know, at least for me, this part is just like you mess up and it's just cruised. Smooth, smooth. Two guard, all the way closed. Follow that same dark line right here. Now we get the one guard. Final step, open the lever all the way and flicking out that same direction. Or the same line that we just flicked out at. Now we have basically a shape done. Now I'm just gonna comb everything out so that I could freehand all that excess off basically. So as a freehand, I like to leave the lever open and you just want to notice spots that stick out. See how like this is sticking out? I'm just gonna cut that in and make it go up. Smooth. Now, we could get to the other side, or we could just line it up now. So, we're gonna line it up now. So we're gonna start right in the middle, and we're gonna take the highest point, just right here. Just go across, maybe curve it toward the end. Okay, that is the line. Smooth. Honestly, the C cup too now. I hope that got it all. Smooth. Okay. Back to the other camera. It's going to be the literal same exact process, but just this time on the right. So start with your trimmers, and we're gonna set that line in behind the ear, going straight up and then straight across again. Next up, shaver, and same thing, just going around that line that we just made. Smooth, no guard, lever open, follow that line. You know what? What we're gonna do on this side, we're gonna fade up as we go. So close the lever now, just so I can give y'all both examples of like making the guidelines and then one verse, make the guideline, take it out, make the guideline, take it out. So close the lever now, all the way closed, and just attack that bottom line using the corners and flicking up. I'm gonna start in the back. Now we're gonna get the trimmer again so we can take out that line completely. Smooth. Now, one guard, lever opened, follow that same line. Smooth, smooth. Now we close the lever and soften up that dark line that you see at the bottom. So before ear, and then we'll go after ear after. Now we grab the 0 guard, half guard, same thing, halfway, 1.5. Flick out using the corners. Now we get the 2 guard all the way open and we flick out at everything. Now we get the 3 and do the same exact thing. And then put that dark line in between. Close the lever on the 2. And we use the corners to flick out. And then we'll go in with the 1 all the way open, using the corners again, flicking out. Now we're going with the 1, getting out that line completely, all the way open. Let me use the comb for that. It's looking a little crazy. All this dandruff, damn. Now we can get to the freehanding part, because I don't think this is gonna look any better until I finish that. So comb out that entire area and then have the clipper on like opened, and then just go up, follow the direction, or follow, I guess, the flow of the hair. Now comb everything out one more time. Now we can see where we need to work on. I think here's the main area. I think that's the two closed. So now we can just detail up. Cut's basically done. Smooth. Now we can do the neckline, and this side is done too. So we're just gonna follow what we made on the other side on this side. Smooth. Remember last week we went against the grain on the lineup? We might do the same again this week. I kind of like the more natural look it gave me rather than like a tapered lineup type of heavy look. So we're gonna throw in the 3 guard with the lever all the way closed. And we're just gonna go up on my lineup. Nothing crazy. Not all the way, but just kind of enough to make some room, you know? Just gonna comb everything back down. Might have to hit it against the grain with the two opened against the grain. Or with the grain, my fault. We're not digging in too much, just kind of getting everything to lay down. It's really just the corners, honestly. Because the corners, you can see they curl up a lot more compared to the rest, so this just brings it down a bit. Smooth. So now we can get the got to be glued holding spray. Make sure this area is clean first. To get your holding spray, get that all in there, and then get a brush and just brush down the very ends. I'm not trying to dig in too much. Okay, now the highest points are obviously the corners, so which corner is a bit higher? This corner is a bit higher, so we're going to use that as kind of like our baseline on where we set that middle guideline. It's not a pushback, bro. Trust. So now this point right here, I stopped here because this is where I'm going to curve it. Because if I kept going straight across, keep it right there. But when you curve it just a little bit, it'll keep that, like when you're looking from a side proportion, it'll look straight instead of downward, if that makes sense. Just gonna get the comb to see as well. So that's why you use the comb after too. Cause sometimes the holding spray be holding a bit too much. Smooth. Kind of. Hold on. Smooth. Now we can do the hit the vertical bars. Wow, clean. Simple taps, you know. Now the vertical bars. The vertical bars are set. You can see. I'm at the C cup. Just gonna set it in that indent. And I'll follow that up right underneath. Smooth. Now we match it on the other side. Let's get the comb. So we can comb this down too. So we don't come across what we came across on the other side. Now just to make sure this side is good. It's almost there. As you can see. Okay. Oh, switch on this side. Ooh. There you go. top 5 greatest lock-ins. Holy shit. Alright, vertical bars, just tap at that. Nothing too hard. And then vertical bars, just match it up with the other side. So, boop. This side's gonna get pushed back a little bit, but not like crazy. Smooth. So you get your razor. You know how to put the razor in by now, hopefully. Hopefully y'all do. But if y'all don't, open up the razor from the packet. Grab it out. Turn it upside down. Place it into the holder. Close it. Give it a little tap with your comb, you know. Can it? And then you go. Stretch the skin. Hold it at like a 45-degree angle and just slide it up nice and slowly. Just to your line. This gets rid of all those little stubbles. And just make sure I line up here way more sharp, bro. You're good. Now going to the other side. Damn, I didn't even switch the camera for that. My fault. Ooh, I may have missed it. You can kind of see it. I think no, actually no, I didn't. We're good. We are good. This side's still a bit higher. Smooth now. Okay. Now we can shave all this off. Alright, the cut's looking smooth though. I'm kind of liking this, like this mohawk. Maybe I'll rock a mohawk for a bit. Maybe that's what I do after all this. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm gonna shave this off, and we're gonna get to the final result so y'all can see what this looks like. Completely done. Final steps: alcohol and the olive oil sheen spray. So I was just cleaning up everything. You know, this. I got it nice. I got it nice. You know, I don't got a full on mohawk, but this does like give the good base for it. If I had more hair back here, perfect. I honestly like it a lot. Like, it reminds me of Esteban. I'm not gonna lie. Not because Chelsea, you know, just beat Liverpool. You know, it feels great to, you know, beat Liverpool. Like, you know, we always used to lose to Liverpool all the damn time, and now we're finally beating Liverpool. So, Esteban inspired cut. Nice simple mohawk. Maybe this is what we do after. We just get a mohawk, bro. But ooh. Ooh. And then the sheen spray, just to give it some shine. Just rub it all in after. Your hands might be a little oily, but that's okay. Look at that line, I'm not even moving, bro. Jeez. This is great. Wow. Wow, man. I really like this. I can't wait to like rate all these cuts. See which one, looking back on them, is my favorite. That'll be cool. I think this is, I feel like every time I do a different cut, I'm gonna say it's gonna finish higher than the one before, but I genuinely think this is probably top 4. Maybe it finishes at 4. But I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. Maybe I should have left this. Maybe I should have did this one first. Think it would have looked a bit better. Actually, no. Maybe I should have left this one last. So that when I had like the hair to be a bit longer than this, I forgot what I was saying. Alright, yeah. That's the cut. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned how to do a burst fade as well. And if you ever try this, you know, DM me on Instagram. Show me your results. I'd love to see what y'all do and how y'all do with these tutorials. So, yeah, this is the burst fade tutorial. Next, we got the drop fade. And then we have the shadow fade. And then last but not least, we have the mid fade. And with the mid fade, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't want to do a mid fade and have a high top. So it'll probably be another buzz cut, but this time like a 2 or 3 guard against the grain, so really, really low, like lower than wavelength type of thing. We might have to do one of those, for like just to end off the series, you know, to really see my scalp. I haven't had my hair that short in a while, and I honestly just like the growing out process. Like, what was it? The cut before this one, that was the ugly stage. Ooh, I went through that for like 2-3 weeks. Now we're at a length now where it's like, okay, like, this is doable. This is manageable. I can live with this. So yeah. See y'all in the next one. Drop fade.